manners here, son.
4, we won't with hair.
First of all, I would like to welcome everyone and to thank you all for coming and making this such an amazing day. I know that many of you have travelled some distance to be here today, but I hope you will agree it has been worth it.
Yeah.
Don't let it look happy couple. I would especially like to welcome Simon's mum and dad, Mark and Joanne, and the rest of Simon's family, and to thank you all for helping to make this such a very special day. Thank you. And of course to Simon, our brand new son-in-law, we are very proud and honoured to welcome you into the family. Mind you, it does feel like Simon has been part of the family for years. More about that later, Simon. I'm told that as father of the bride, it's expected that I should say a few embarrassing words about you, Jode. Jode, be prepared. I'm only going to embarrass you a little bit. I was used to it. I will start with Jodie's birth. Like any responsible father to be, I was in the hospital. I was in the hospital room with Jackie as she went into labour. Jackie's mum, Violet, who's not with us now, but was outside the room, pacing up and down, itching to get into the room, not really trusting me to know what was going on and to do the right things that a father should do. Well, after that seemed like ages. Jodie was born, and with tears in my eyes, I rushed out to see Violet, and she said, "Well, what does she have?" I said, "It's a baby." Violet's response was to say, "You silly sod." And that was how our lovely Jodie entered into this world. Although it was a bit of a Rodney and Del Boy moment, it was one of the proudest days of my life, as like today, walking my daughter down the aisle. Mind you, Jodie does have a bit of an evil streak. When she was 2 years old, I was having a well-deserved nap on the sofa, and Jackie asked Jodie to wake Daddy up for dinner. Jodie then proceeded to repeatedly hit me up hard over the head with her doll, which had a head like an engineer's brick. Thanks, Jode. As many of you will know, Jodie loves animals. When she was 7, she had a pet fish called Smokey. That fish was Jodie's pride and joy, but as you would expect, it was always down to Jackie to look after Smokey and clean the tank. One day while she was cleaning the tank, Jackie managed to put warm water into the tank and no more Smokey. Murdered by Jackie. Jodie insisted that Smokey was going to be Jodie insisted that Smokey wasn't going to be flushed down the toilet, but had to have a proper burial in the garden in a box made by Jodie. Then came Sooty, her pet rabbit, who was really her first true love. Sorry, Simon. When poor Sooty passed away, with old age this time, not murdered by Jackie, Jodie insisted that Sooty had to be buried under the paving slabs in our garden. Well, I can tell you it took me hours and hours to pull up those paving slabs and dig my way through tree roots and clay, soil, and just to create a big hole for Sooty. What do we do for you, Jode? Huh? Jodie is very musical. One day after school, she announced that she wanted to learn to play a musical instrument. Jackie and I looked at each other and we thought, oh my God, please don't let it be the violin. But no, Jodie wanted to play the flute. So we hired a flute from school, which Jodie managed to break. Now in my career, I'm used to fixing most mechanical things, car engines, all sorts of machinery, but never a flute. That was the hardest thing ever, Jode, just to get you out of trouble. Jodie really enjoyed her school life and sailed through it, making some very special friends who are here today. Off to Portsmouth University she went, where she continued her love of music, clubbing this time. And when she met Simon, the second love of her life, after Sooty the Rabbit. After graduation and on the car journey home, we could tell Jodie had something on her mind. It was clear that she loved Simon very much, but how was their relationship going to work with her in London and Simon in Essex? Mum and Dad, she asked, can Simon move in with us? Only until January. I promised. Because he had a temporary Christmas job in Selfridges, while we were over, and of course we said yes. Well, 3.5 years later, Simon was still with us and a permanent fixture in our family. He must have been my cooking Simon. He was a perfect house guest, very polite, respectful and caring. Joan and Mark, you should be very proud of your son. He's amazing. And Simon, you have made our daughter very happy, and we are so very proud to call you our son-in-law. Jodie and Simon, this is the first day of your new life together as Mr. and Mrs. Babbage. I have two pieces of advice as you start your journey into married life. First of all, remember the love you have for each other today, and let that be the foundation of your future life together. My second piece of advice is to buy earplugs, because as you get older, at least one of you is going to snore loudly. Can you please stand up? I'd like to make a toast to the bride and groom. To the bride and groom. Thank you very much. I'd like to hand you over now to Simon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Terry, for a truly magnificent speech and for welcoming me into your family. Some of you may know that I'm not a huge fan of public speaking, so in the spirit of my wife, I'm going to try and keep it pretty short and sweet. On behalf of Jodie and myself, we'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming and making today such a special day for us. We really do appreciate it. We have been truly touched by the effort that has been made to attend our big day, with some of you travelling from Portsmouth, Bournemouth, the Isle of Wight, Bristol, Birmingham, Hartlepool and even Australia. We would also like to mention those who sadly cannot be with us today. From my granddad Malcolm to Jodie's grandparents Violet and Gwen and Jodie's auntie Christine. We know they all would have loved to have been here today, but we know they are here in spirit and are always in our hearts. Also, unfortunately, Jodie's granddad Terry and my grandma Jill could not be here today as they were unable to make the journey. So if you'd like to join me in standing for my first toast. Have some friends and family. Now, I'm sure you've noticed some of the table names based on various locations from around Portsmouth, where Jodie and I met whilst at university. We would like to thank my Uncle Tim, who has drawn each and every one of these. They are absolutely brilliant and we will treasure them forever. So just to show you our thanks for that, we've just got you a little gift as well. From Langstone Student Village, where Jodie lived during her first year of university, without having to look after me, to Tiger, where we started to get a little bit closer, '81 Telephone Road, where Jodie lived alongside Fran, Lucy and Rosie, and I ended up staying a lot. Sorry girls. The Eldon Building, where we helped each other get through our studies. The Guildhall, where we graduated, and the Royal Navy Memorial, where I popped the question. Each location holds a special place in our hearts. I would like to thank both Jodie's parents, Jackie and Terry, as well as my mum and dad, Mark and Joanne, for raising Jodie and I, as well as my sister Rachel, to the people that we are today. After university, Jodie asked her mum and dad whether it would be okay if I stayed for a bit, as I started working in London. Well, 3 years and 8 months later, and they still hadn't gotten rid of us. After a few years of heavy drinking at university, I was surprised to discover through visits to their locals, the Prince of Wales and the Kings, that those days were by no means over. Through living with Jack and Terry, I learned the true meaning of cleanliness. I will never forget the time that I cleaned the flat, only for Terry to come home from work and clean it all over again.
Did he have his apron on?
The first time Jodie met my mum and dad was when I ran the Great South Run in my second year of uni. Strangely, my mum was running late, and so whilst I had to get my place at the start line, Jodie was left trying to work out who my parents were amongst the thousands. Although Jodie was nervous to meet what would eventually become her in-laws, I can honestly say they have welcomed Jodie into our family with open arms, as have I been to the Redwood family, and we are very grateful for having such wonderful families. We would also like to say a special thank you to my mum for making our wedding cake. I think we can all agree that it looks amazing, and where Jodie and I tried a sample, it tasted just as good. We have a small gift for our parents, and as it is Mother's Day tomorrow, as well as my grandma's 85th birthday, we would also like to say thank you to our grandparents. So, once again, if you would like to join me in standing for my next toast. For mothers. We would like to thank all of my groomsmen for everything today and for helping to try to keep me calm. I have my cousin Ben, Tom, who I used to play tennis and Nintendo 64 with every week whilst we were at primary school, Moddy, who was my best friend at secondary school, and my best man Jacob, who alongside his fiancée Amanda, Jodie and I met whilst on holiday. I couldn't ask for better groomsmen and friends, and it's been great to have all of you by my side, so thank you. We would also like to thank all of Jodie's bridesmaids, Tarmin, Becca, Lauren, Rachel and Amanda, the maid of honour, for doing such a great job in the lead up to today and for today itself. I know Jodie has been stressed at times, so thank you for helping make today go smoothly. I'm sure we can all agree that they all look lovely, and it probably took them less time to get ready today than I did. So, if you'd like to join me once again in standing for my next toast. Bridesmaids. So that leaves last, but by no means least, my beautiful wife, Jodie. Not only are you my best friend, you are my soulmate, and the 7.5 years we spent together have been the best years of my life. You truly have been there for me in sickness and in health, and I can't wait for what lies ahead in our married life together. As I mentioned earlier, I met Jodie whilst at university in Portsmouth, and although we didn't start to properly get to know each other until the end of our first year, our journey together started to progress pretty quickly. I have heard that Jodie once said to her friends that she would never go out with an Essex boy. Well, that turned out well, didn't it, babes?
Babes.
Whilst Jodie and I were at uni, I used to like a drink or two, which became known as getting babbaged. And now today, you could also say that Jodie has been babbaged. So, for my final toast, you should all have a bottle of rum in front of you, as well as some shot glasses. I think you all know what to do now.
Always prepared.
So, would you like to join me in standing? So, Jodie Babbage.
Jodie Babbage. Cool.
So now all that remains for me to do is hand over to my best man, Jacob. I was nervous about doing my own speech, but after hearing his list of props that he requested, I think I'm more nervous about this one. You did a great job in organising my stag do, and I'm sure you'll hear a thing or two about that now. So without further ado, please give a warm welcome to Jacob.
Can we bring in the guitar and projector? No, I'm joking. It's just a normal speech. Right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Firstly, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jay, and I'm honoured to be Simon's best man. When Simon asked me to be his best man, he planned it in the best way possible. He brought me a lovely gift box, including full of all the things I liked. Whiskey, shot glasses, cigars. Basically, it was my life in a box. And then, at the bottom of the box, it had a little note, and it said, "Will you be my best man?" I was touched. I would have been more touched if Jodie wasn't in my ensuite, drunk and crying, rolling around saying, "Tell him, Simon! Tell him what we've been talking about!" And, you know, with Simon and Jodie's relationship, if Jodie asks something, Simon does it. And Simon said then and then, "Will you be my best man?" Just on a side note though, Jodie did get in this state by downing a bottle of limoncello in 20 minutes while playing a child's game from Lupin Louis. It's quite impressive. So if the bar does serve limoncello and you do make her do a shot, I will personally buy you a drink. Because she hasn't been able to stomach it since. In all seriousness though, I was very excited about being asked. I was really looking forward to carrying out the traditional tasks such as planning the stag do, keeping the ring safe, getting Simon to the venue in time, which I knew would be the hardest part, as he's a little bit more of a faffage than a Babbage. And finally, what I would say the best tradition, getting it on with the maid of honour. I was then bitterly disappointed to find out the maid of honour was my fiancée. So naturally, there'd be no getting it on tonight. I first met Simon and Jodie in Egypt. I saw Simon reading the Sun newspaper, and being a Liverpool fan, from that moment on, I thought I'd avoid this idiot at all costs, reading that utter garbage. However, this was mine and my fiance's first holiday abroad, and she said we had to speak to them, as that's what British people do. Luckily, we hit it off really well, and went for lunch nearly every day at the mighty Oak Grill, serving the finest falafel Egypt had to offer. Me and Simon had so much in common, and over the years, I've had many happy memories, from watching him pull his 6th attempt at a tea shot into the bushes, to eating our way through every barbecue restaurant we could find. Since meeting in Egypt, we've gone on to explore more of the world together, holidaying in Turkey and Morocco. Going by this trend of holiday destinations, it won't be long till we'll be exploring the golden beaches of Syria. Anything that's for a bargain. And Brexit, we might just be able to afford it. We like it. I've had many happy memories spent with Simon abroad, but one that will always come to mind is Simon's fake birthday in Morocco. We're watching a really average Moroccan entertainment show, and it was really average. They were handing out free champagne, and we really got the taste of it. We were down them as quick as possible, but as soon as the entertainment was over, so was the champagne. I'm quite a quick thinker, so I asked the waiter, can we get another bowl? And he said, it has to be someone's birthday. Luckily, it wasn't Simon's birthday, but I thought I'd give it a go. I ran to reception, and the receptionist had his passport on file. I was very confused looking at the date shown. But after a 10 dirham tip, I was swiftly presented with a voucher for a bottle of champagne and a birthday cake. When we went for dinner, we decided to just cash in our voucher. And then when the puddings come out, so did Simon's cake. Everyone stood up and looked at him. It looked like he wanted the world to eat him up. But now he was part of the lie. And everyone started congratulating him, saying happy birthday, singing, and then he had the audacity to lie even further and say he was only 20. He must have bought in for a penny and for a pound. And people were even saying he looked good for his age. At the beginning of the night, he was really nervous, really worried, shy about the line, but by the end of the night, after a few drinks, he was running around the disco room, shouting at everyone, it's my birthday! It's funny what a few drinks can do to you. On the subject of drinking, my main objective during the stag weekend was to get him absolutely babbaged. I quite enjoy a wind-up, so when planning the stag do, I may have dropped a few little red herrings in the mix to keep Simon on his toes. When I picked Simon up that day, he had packed his bag full of the essentials: shorts, t-shirts, golf shoes, passport, only to find out it was a weekend in cold Birmingham. My other half said it was cruel, but the way I look at it, I was just gearing him up for married life. I think we all had great fun on the stag do, and Simon created a classic morning after the night before moment. As I was at the bar, ordering a bit of hair at the dog, I saw Simon shoot past me into the toilet, cheeks puffed. He knew exactly what he was going to do. About 10 minutes later, he emerged from the toilet, shaking his head. I asked him how it went. He said he didn't make the toilet, but he did make the urinal. And gents, if you have a look, I have reserved Simon the urinal just in case history repeats itself later on tonight. I do have a letter of congratulations from somebody that couldn't make it today. It's a bit awkward, as I don't think he even had an invite. It reads, Mr. and Mr. Babbage. Dear Jodie and Simon, from our players and staff, I want to congratulate you both on your wedding day as you begin your new life together. I understand that Simon, you're a very passionate supporter of our club, and I believe this union will be a great partnership to start the next stage of your life together. Enjoy this special day. I wish you good health and happiness in the future. Best wishes, Uriah Emery, Arsenal head coach. Sorry, it's not in Pete's big frame. It's perhaps Wilkinson's 250. It's been a classic opportunity to throw a few Arsenal jokes in the mix, but being a Liverpool fan and we're playing tomorrow, I might be setting myself up for a fall. Shut up. Seriously though, I couldn't be happy for Simon and Jodie. I wish them all the luck in the future, and I know they live a very happy and successful life together. I'm sure you'll all agree it's been a fantastic day, boring bits are nearly over, and it's almost time to start rinsing the bar. Before I leave, Simon and Jodie, if you just turn and face each other, it's nice. Yeah, a little bit. Look at each other in the eyes, and understand you're now looking at the person statistically most likely to murder you.